I'm Jason Fox, and I work here at Library Astro. We're categorized as a used bookstore. A few years ago now, my boss found out that comics actually make more money than used books. So then we started stocking comic books and comic book related things. We are actually in the city, we're one of the biggest pull list system, which means that we have reserve customers that come here with an entire list of comics that we then pull specifically for them. So we sell mostly just single issue comics. Usually it's just like the generic favorites because people kind of get a loyalty to a specific character. So like people will buy a Batman comic just because it's Batman in it, and they'll be less focused on who's writing it or who's drawing it or anything like that. They'll just buy it because there's popular characters. So there's obviously popular characters in comics like Batman, Wolverine, Captain America, the Avengers, and X-Men that people will always buy just because they've always bought it. So those ones are the more popular ones, but then we get other comics that pop up every now and then. Like right now, Saga is probably, in my opinion at least, the best comic that's being written right now. And it's just a completely new universe, just a new set of characters, and just an amazing story. One of the issues is that a lot of the comics are going digital, and so as a retailer, we are starting to lose money because of that.
What up?
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Oh, better not disturb other people. I don't know.
Over the time of reading comics, I've gotten more snobbish with my comic likings in that I kind of follow writers over things. Like I used to be like, oh, you know, Batman is in here, so I have to read it. Now I'm like, oh, Scott Snyder is writing this issue of Batman, so now I have to read it. So I'm following writers more than I'm following actual comics. One of the reasons that comics from a long time ago are worth so much is because they weren't printed as much. Now comics are printed with just thousands and thousands of copies are printed at a time, that it's like, it's not as rare for somebody to have a number one of something because, you know, 50,000 of them were printed, so 50,000 people have them somewhere. It's not as rare. Whereas back then, you know, people didn't know that comics were going to be as big, they didn't know that it was going to be able to be what it is, that they held on to them, and now not as many people have them. One of our main things at the store is that people just come in, and it's kind of like a social get-together where people come in and we all just talk about comics, which is fun. It's like a book club, kind of, in that people all read the same thing, can all come in and all talk about the same thing that they read.